Back at it again here with another video with the Invest for tomorrow. To the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you guys to smash that like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 30 likes. And here we are with the SPY, the S&P 500 index, sitting sideways after a big drop, still continuing that slight weakness into a downward trend, even though it's sitting sideways. And it wasn't the only stock falling today. Tesla fell as well. Our Tesla bot sent out a bear indicator since 9:06 a.m. And from that moment forward into the bell and after the bell, outflows continue to dominate. As you could see there on the screen, it was below the midpoint and put options went up 200% plus within an hour, guys. If you guys want to receive this clarity and edge over the charts, check out the link down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to our SPY bot, the QQQ bot, our newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. And this is my opinion alone, my perspective, not financial advice, but volatility is here to stay. And within the volatility, having an edge and clarity of the charts makes all the difference. It doesn't have to be 42 vision, but if you find value in what we share here and you want to join a community of members that are using these resources to maximize within the volatility, once again, check out the link down below in the description. So here we are with the SPY sitting sideways in a slight downward trend, and right at the end of the day, as things were picking back up, it just rejected to end the day to the downside, right? And just sit flat here around 374. We need to talk about key levels in the charts, but before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run opportunity I mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And as you see popping up here on the screen, these are the home runs I've managed to find this week alone. And while it's not guaranteed to be this way every single time, we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So the home run of the day was spectacular and beyond expectations. And if you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord and become part of a growing community of investors, all looking to learn and grow together. So these are the two stocks I mentioned this morning. Both of the game jumps at 3 to 5%, 5 to 10% plus, but one of them turned out to be a home run, and that was BEAT. It was up 20% plus within just a few minutes after the bell, and it went much higher than that, right? We caught this one in the pre-market under a bull indicator. Inflows were picking up. They continued to stay above the midpoint, and they switched from red to green with strength into the bell, and the continuation of strength on 42 vision all the way up to give to a highest point of 30% plus, guys. If you guys want to know about these stocks early on in the pre-market, check out the link down below in the description to the Discord. We look forward to having you join us, and we strive for opportunities like these every single day. So here we are with the SPY, and the SPY continues to sit sideways as I stated earlier in the video, and it's in a dip area right now based off the 30-minute, and if you zoom out towards the 1 day as well, it's in a dip area. It hasn't hit that since the last time back in June. So we have some critical things to talk about here based off the chart. I'm going to pull up the bull and bear indicators, which you can now gain access to as well. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator, getting connected to the SPY bot, the QQQ bot, a newly released Tesla bot, and we have other bots on the way so that you can receive the clarity and edge that you deserve within the volatility of the markets to maximize on opportunities. And you can now join the members using these resources to maximize in either direction by receiving this clarity and edge over the charts. And in today's video, I'm going to pull up the inflow versus outflow indicator, which adds that extra layer of confirmation within the volatility of the markets to maximize and have that edge over the charts. And you can now gain access to it. For those interested, slots are now open. The link is down below in the description to the 42 vision indicator and the inflow versus outflow. So here we are with the SPY under a bear indicator, went downwards really fast from way up here at 389 all the way to lows here of 373. And when those outflows got crossed here within the zigzag, it got weak, right? It tried coming back up, very weak, crossed it really fast, and since yesterday, the outflows have dominated. Now, a lot of people thought at this dip that there was going to be a strong reversal, and even towards the end of the day that this reversal had some real strength. Well, unfortunately, it did not have that much strength, because in the live action, inflows versus outflows showed us that yes, it was starting to pick up traction, but not strong enough to cross the midpoint on the 30-minute. Now, if you go to the 15-minute within the volatility, it did slightly cross within that move, literally in the move from 374 to highs here of 377. And right before that last bar right here, shifting from green to red, we got green to red on the outflows, and they were on their way back down, and right towards the bell, it crossed, and we are currently below it in the volatility. No bull indicators in the process, and yesterday's bear indicator is still in play, right? It did not get canceled by a bull indicator, and that's something that we're watching for and that we want, right? We're rooting for that to see if things go back up. But if they don't, well, we need to continue to watch these rejections, and if the 30-minute chart continues to stay below the midpoint, well, there could be further weakness, and we could test other support levels, which we're going to look at in just a moment. But bear indicator since yesterday way up here, and I showed you guys the 1-day chart, right? We're going to look at it in just a moment, but the 1 hour, same thing. The outflows got crossed in the middle of the day, even before, right, outflows began, and they crossed right before the FOMC meeting, and all that volatility showed us that once it crossed below it, towards the end of the day, there was extreme weakness, too much outflows for those inflows to even hold up. And that's how we've ended up here. And today, in this dip area, someone's buying up the dip, but not enough strength because it needs to cross the midpoint to actually show some strength. Let me show you guys an example. So back here on September 7th, got that bull indicator, right? Full transition of strength here on 42 vision. The inflows crossed the midpoint on the 7th, right before that bull indicator popped up 2 bars later, and then the inflows continued to dominate and stay above the midpoint, and things continued upwards. The moment outflows crossed back here on the 13th, they crossed the midpoint, that bear indicator popped up, and things have continued since then. And in the zigzag here of the volatility, there hasn't been enough inflows of strength. Only 2 points. This one right here and the day of the FOMC. And since the FOMC, which was yesterday, we're below the midpoint now. So super important to be watching this. We're under a bear indicator, and outflows have been dominating since way back here on the 13th within the volatility, right? Now, we need to talk about supports and resistance. So let's zoom back out towards the 1 day, and you could see here outflows. This bull indicator, very weak, right? Because the outflows in that same process were still dominating. We never got over the midpoint. That bull indicator was a complete fake out. And when we zoom back out towards June here in July, you could see this bull indicator actually crossed the midpoint, and it actually had strength, and it was doing a complete transition from the dip to the rip. And this was still in the process of the rip to the dip area. This is the first time we hit the dip area again on the 1 day chart. And we got a bear indicator quickly after that canceled it, right? And the outflows have continued to stay red, and they're pointing down. Based off the outflows right now, we're at minus 23.89, and the last outflow bottom here that was pretty extreme, which was actually in June, was back here at minus 36.37. We still have room to go lower, and below that, which was a few months before that, or weeks before that, excuse me, it was all the way down towards minus 45 based off the 1 day on the outflows, and we're currently at minus 23.89. I'm going to be watching that if we get closer to those levels or try to level off somewhere above that. But this is our first white with red borders. The last time we hit white with red borders, we got it 2 times on the way down, right? Even within the volatility, it happened 2 times. And both times, we got more than 4 bars consecutively back to back over the course of a few weeks and days. So once this begins, could it mean that we're about to bottom out? Not necessarily, but it is an area we want to watch carefully because it's a critical level of either finding support or breaking to new all-time lows, especially here on the SPY as it's retesting 372 where it actually triple bottomed before it started to run again back from July 14th all the way to highs here of 431. And here we are in the dip area, and the lows were 362, and we're literally only about $10 to $12 away from that area. So I look forward to seeing your thoughts down below, how you feel about this, but very important and critical area that we're at, and it's going to be super important to stay above 372. that gets broken through, the next support is 370. And then I just go all the way down to the all-time low of this year of 362. And below 362 is then when people start talking about 340, 350. We'll have to see if that happens. Will we fall? And if there's going to be strength there or not. But right now, 372 is a key support to watch. Now, when we zoom back into the 30-minute, I'm going to be watching if these inflows can bring themselves back up, or if they stay below, and if we break through the lows here of the day of 373, or if it starts heading towards 370, 372, we'll have to see, and if it could try to bounce back from there or continue, right? Now, if the inflows start to pick up, we cross back up on the 30-minute, and not just on the 30-minute, but also hold strong here on the 15-minute. If it comes back up and crosses it, the first resistance level is 379, 380 if you want to round it up, and then above that is 385, guys. Those are the key levels I'm watching. I'm going to be watching for these bear indicators to get canceled out as well by possible bull indicators. I'm going to be watching that carefully, and the inflow versus outflow. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.